Welcome back to Sharing Solutions, the how-tos in business. I'm your host, Janice Jockel, and today we're going to talk about a topic nobody wants to talk about, and that's called procrastination. Procrastination will absolutely put you in analysis of paralysis and hold you back from doing what absolutely needs to get done. And I get it. I used to be the biggest procrastinator, but I've learned some tricks from my friend Brian Tracy. I love his work. He writes great books, business and self-help. And the one we're going to talk about today is a silly subject called Eat the Frog. Eat the frog. What does that mean? So we're going to talk about some key components to stop procrastinating and doing the hardest things first. So picture yourself. You got a million things on your to-do list. Which ones do you start first? It's that 80-20 rule, right? Is you got to take the ones that are most critical that you don't want to do, eat the ugliest frog and do it first. Get it done and out of the way. When I coach salespeople and train them, I say, I love cold calling. I know, it's kind of weird, but some people just don't like that whole canvassing and prospecting. And I say, get it out of the way in the morning. Get your voicemails and get those connections done first, because then they have all day to be able to call you back and connect with you. Get that hardest task that's on your to-do list done first, and then everything else seems easier. The other thing about the 80-20 rule is you identify things that you just don't want to do. Well, that's where the BizHive comes in. BizHive will take those to-dos that you don't want to do, and we take them from getting to-dos to done. And we get all those in-between things that you don't like to do done through our team. So, eating the frog first is the critical component to procrastination. Oftentimes business owners and leaders get so much on our plate, and we always push the things we don't want to do to the end of the day, and then they don't get done. Then they get carried on to the next day, and then the next day, and then they just never get done. And so think about what you can do tomorrow to really put those things you don't like to do up front, and then move forward with your day. Getting those hard things out of the ways. I call them our barriers. What are the barriers in business that you know need to get done, that you don't like to get done first? So I highly recommend. I found that there is a new workbook out by Brian Tracy and the book itself, and it gives you the capability of walking through step by step the 21 things to overcoming procrastination. The one that I like the best is that working out twice a day, single-handedly doing what's done first and then ending and recapping the day. And then lastly, deciding what's not important, because not everything is not important. So if you look at your to-do list, put a category of what's urgent, what's important, and what can be delegated, delegate to elevate to somebody else in your team or outsourcing it to somebody like the BizHive. Actions have consequences. Think about it. What we procrastinate, for instance, I'll be vulnerable and say, I hate paperwork. That is not I don't like it. I don't like to have to touch paper. Paper should be only touched once. And I outsource my bookkeeping. That's not a core competency that I like doing. But if I didn't, I wouldn't know where I stood in my business. I wouldn't know if I was profitable or not. So actions have consequences. If we do not do the things that are absolutely critical in our business or in our role in our company, then actions should have accountability attached to that. And so think about the procrastination of what you're not getting done and who can do it. That whole outsourcing to somebody internally or outsourcing to outside your company to getting those pieces done, because if not, something's going to fall to the wayside. So I want you to take the next steps of stopping the procrastination in your day, finding out what really can be delegated, whether it's to somebody else or to outsourcing, and really fine tune those opportunities, because you will feel the heaviness of the day be lifted and you'll live the best life ever. Until next time, my name is Janice Jockle, sharing solutions. Toodles.